Chapter 3 is about matter and energy. We had already mentioned in Chapter 1 that chemistry is the study of matter, but more importantly, the changes in matter. And this is a very broad definition because matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. Now, in this class, we're going to focus on the most common states of matter, which are shown in this picture: solids, liquids, and gases. So this picture shows water can be a solid, and then this picture is showing the microscopic view of what makes up water, which we'll learn later on: 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of oxygen. Notice that is the same microscopic substance when you're talking about liquid water and when you're talking about steam. So it's always water, it's just whether it's a solid, a liquid, or a gas. And if we look at solids, solids could either be crystalline or amorphous. The top picture shows a crystalline solid, which has long-range order. This picture is trying to show you that there's a certain pattern that gets repeated where the atoms are located. The picture below has no order to it. This is an amorphous solid. In both cases, notice that the atoms are stuck in location. In the crystalline solid and in the amorphous solid, the atoms have a little bit of ability to vibrate where they are, but they cannot move around the container. If you put a chunk of solid into a beaker, that chunk of solid maintains its shape. It doesn't change its shape because you put it into a different type of container. That's different when you're talking about liquids and gases. In liquids, the atoms are also close together. So that's similar to what we saw with the solid. But liquids are free to move around the container. So when you pour water into a glass that looks like this, the water fills up the bottom of the glass. And if you switch to a different container and you fill it with water, the water will make whatever shape the container has. So unlike a solid, a liquid has a fixed volume, which is true for the solid, but it has no definite shape. The shape of the liquid is controlled by the shape of the container. And a gas has no fixed volume or shape. Here you can see a picture that shows a microscopic representation of a gas inside a cylinder. A gas can be compressed, just like a balloon can be compressed, because a gas is mostly empty space. Unlike the solid and the liquid where the atoms are very close together, The particles, the atoms or the molecules that make up the gas are much farther apart. A solid and a liquid, it's very difficult to compress. It's easy to squeeze on a balloon and change the volume of a balloon. It's very difficult to squeeze on a solid or a liquid and change its volume.